Hello and welcome to Baku TV International with me, Miranda Shunker.
And me, Mariam Zaidi.
Welcome to day 3 of our COP29 coverage, the UN climate conference that's taking place right here in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Well, first, let's take a look at the big meetings and power plays on day 2 of COP29 at the Leaders Summit. 2024 has been a masterclass in climate destruction, and Miranda, that is according to Antonio Guterres, who is, of course, the Secretary General of the UN. And also another speech that's garnered a lot of interest has been from Hilda Hein. She's the president of the Marshall Islands, and she's basically been calling out rich countries for failing to finance cuts to pollution, which is, of course, a cornerstone of the Paris Climate Agreement.
Indeed, but still much of the focus here in Baku, though, is on help for developing countries and really the impact of climate change now. And I think those discussions are going on today, particularly when it comes to climate finance at COP29. It's a big subject this year, and it's about encouraging those with deep pockets, really, to dig deeper and contribute more. One of those, and I quote so-called rich nations, is the UK, which is keen to take a lead in this process here in Baku. And the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, well, he said that the UK will now aim for a 81% target cut in emissions by 2035. And he's actually calling on other countries now to match that new target. Well, the UK Prime Minister also had a meeting with the President of Azerbaijan as well while he was here, where they discussed things like clean energy jobs of the future and really to get more countries to get on board with this process and get on with the game.
Indeed, and we do have a clip of that meeting as well, so take a look.
On November 12, Ilham Aliyev, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, met with Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. President Ilham Aliyev highlighted that this visit marked the British Prime Minister's first trip to Azerbaijan, describing it as historically significant and important for UK-Azerbaijan bilateral ties. Prime Minister Starmer congratulated President Ilham Aliyev on successfully hosting COP29 and praised Azerbaijan's presidency of the event. He underscored that climate change remains a top priority for the UK and commended Azerbaijan's contributions to global efforts to combat it. The head of state noted that, despite limited preparation time, Azerbaijan efficiently completed all organizational tasks for COP29. He noted that progress is already evident in the substantive negotiations, including advancements on Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, which he viewed as a positive development. The conversation also focused on bilateral cooperation, highlighting the BP-funded solar plant construction project in Jabrail. This project was recognized as pivotal for transitioning to renewable energy and decarbonizing operations at the Sangachal terminal, one of the world's largest oil and gas terminals. The UK's support for demining operations in Azerbaijan was also appreciated. The UK Prime Minister expressed interest in the peace negotiations between Armenia and Azerbaijan. President Ilham Aliyev explained that discussions on a peace treaty were progressing, with much of the text already agreed upon. He noted significant progress in border delimitation and demarcation between Armenia and Azerbaijan, mentioning that over 12 kilometers of the border had not only been delimited but also demarcated, with the agreement to advance this process reached at the last meeting of the Commission. The Azerbaijani leader stressed the importance of Armenia removing territorial claims against Azerbaijan from its constitution and emphasized the need to prepare populations for peace to facilitate progress in the peace process and the signing of a treaty.
And so, Miranda, who else is in town then?
Well, the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has been spotted among the delegates at conference. That's quite interesting in terms of what her country's been trying to do, but also quite interestingly from the world of football. Ronaldinho, you might remember him, the former Brazilian midfielder. He's now actually 44 years old. Well, he's been meeting up with young players from several Azerbaijani youth teams on his visit to Baku, and it's thought he's heading to COP29 today to take part in those all-important climate discussions, which will no doubt be going well into the night.
Well, let's hope that he's on the ball and he keeps all discussions on side. Okay, but what is actually happening on day 3 of the COP conference? Let's check in now with our correspondent, Nina Sharifova.
Hello, Nina. It looks very busy behind you at the conference there. Talk us through what is happening today.
Hello one more time. Hello to the studio. Hope you are doing well. I am currently at COP29, the Blue Zone. The atmosphere here is amazing. All local and foreign media representatives are working hard to provide their viewers with the fresh news as well as we do. And also one of the cute moments that are happening here, the little children are also attending the COP29. We can actually see them around all the Blue Zone also. To the important points that are happened today, approximately 60 potential documents are waiting to be adopted at the Baku conference, and we know that Italian Prime Minister Meloni is at COP29 and UK Prime Minister Starmer just left. And also one of the important news today is that we know that Azerbaijan have sent all invitation to all UN member states, and also we also sent it to the Armenia, and some of the Armenian representatives have registered their participation, but they didn't appear, they did not attend the COP29. And as our Foreign Minister Ceyhun Bayramov said, it's truly missed opportunity for them. So this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nina.
And of course, we also have a clip of the Foreign Minister, which you can take a look at just now.
Azerbaijan has been actively involved in climate negotiations since their inception. Azerbaijani Foreign Minister Ceyhun Bayramov told journalists on the sidelines of COP29, "Unlike many other countries, we had only 11 months, not 2 years, to prepare. Nevertheless, we did our best to bridge the gaps between parties and provide a platform for cooperation, aiming for significant outcomes at this conference," Bayramov said. The foreign minister expressed optimism about the progress made, highlighting the successful outcome of COP29's first day, which began on November 11. "Yesterday, we managed to reach a result on the agenda after almost 20 hours of negotiations. It was approved. And another important result of the first day is the agreement on Article 6.4 of the Paris Agreement, which, as we all know, has been discussed for many years," he noted. Bayramov added that approximately 60 potential documents could be adopted at the Baku conference. However, he stressed that the most crucial outcome would be an agreement on the new collective quantified goal. There are still, let's say, differences in the positions of many countries, many important players. But what we see is that everybody seems to be determined, very serious about this issue. This means that all the important players realize their responsibility. So we are optimistic, Ceyhun Bayramov said. The foreign minister also reminded that Azerbaijan has sent an invitation to all the member states of the UN Convention, including Armenia, in order to ensure the inclusiveness of COP29. According to him, several representatives from Armenia registered to participate in the conference, but did not come. This was a missed opportunity for them, Bayramov remarked. Addressing questions about the peace agreement, Bayramov stated that its signing now depends on Yerevan. Most of the key provisions have been agreed upon, but some points still need consensus, he said, emphasizing that Azerbaijan is the initiator of the process.
Now to a life-size, hyper-real 52-foot model of a dead sperm whale beached on the riverbanks of Baku, which has caused a stir amongst locals at the start of COP29. Well, the installation was accompanied by a performance by members of a Belgian art collective known as Captain Boomer, where they imitated the roles of scientists trying to establish what happened to the whale.
Well, for more on this, let's talk to one of the group with Bart van Peel. So Bart, bienvenue. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. It's so good to have a Belgian in studio with us. So talk to us about how you came up with this idea then.
Well, you never know where ideas come from, but I've always been fascinated by whales and also by the fact that they beach themselves sometimes. So this has been going on for centuries, since forever, and it is always such a magical and tragic moment that brings together a whole community. And my dream was first to see it, but it's very rare to see it, well, in Belgium. And then I thought, why don't we just reconstruct it, because it brings people together, it's meaningful, and it's also a metaphor, of course, for what is, I call it, a disturbance in our connection with nature. And everybody feels that. Everybody feels that the bond between humans and the rest of nature is kind of disturbed. There's a problem, and that whale is, I think, a perfect metaphor for it. So first you have the idea, and then you have to do it. So that's why I started the collective, Captain Boomer. I found fantastic sculptors, I found fantastic actors, and here we are in Baku at the COP. Wow.
Indeed, and to look at it on the beach, it is quite a huge object in itself. What's been the reaction?
Well, the reactions here were overwhelming. People rush to this dying or dead beast, and there's a whole realm of reactions. Some people are very sad. Some people are more like wow. Some people are puzzled, you know, like they don't trust it. So we have a whole range of emotions, and of course our installation challenges your belief of reality. We go between fiction and reality. So when you find out that it's not true, after a while, your emotions change and also your reflection. And I think this is what we do. We play kind of a street theater, and on the second layer also have meaning to it. And it's been a dream to do it here. Azerbaijani people were wonderful. They came, tens of thousands of them came. They asked so many questions. They were so enthusiastic. And I think now they really adopt it as their whale. We had children, old people, we had youngsters, and there's a lot of questions and a lot of good questions. They ask the right questions, and we try to answer them.
And so you've got such a good reaction here at COP29 in Baku, but what comes next for your collective? Where does the beached whale go to next?
Well, the beached whale, we've done this project since a long time. It goes back to the deep ocean, and we're gonna hide, and at some point we'll resurface, but it's always a big surprise. Like here in Baku, in the middle of the night, we place it, we make it smell, and it's just a very big surprise. So we can't spoil the surprise. That being said, I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, the local reactions was fantastic, but it's been all over the news worldwide, and it's become, of course, this big question mark to the world. What are we gonna do now? And so I'm just hoping that the COP will be a success. This is my big, and if we have done a little contribution to that, I'm over the moon. But let's hope that the negotiations succeed.
Indeed. Merci beaucoup.
Okay, yes, thank you very much, Bart van Peel, for joining us on that for now. Well, look, that is it for now. We'll have plenty more from day 3, but don't forget you can catch up with all of our stories and, of course, full coverage of COP29 here in Baku.
Indeed, and you'll find them on baku.tv, or you can follow us on our social media platforms. You can find us on X at Baku TV Official or on Facebook at Baku TV. Thanks for watching.